Dude. Good, dude. Good, dude. I mean, you already know. You already know that it's happening. You already know that the prophecy is being fulfilled as we speak at this moment. Now, let's break it down. When we look just at Bitcoin, all we see is some consolidation. But as we've seen, consolidation within this uptrend typically leads to continuation to the upside. So even though Bitcoin looks a little bit inconspicuous right now, when we look around the other markets, dude, it's crystal freaking clear. You know what I'm already going to say. Look with your eyes. What do you see? You see on the monthly chart, the S&P 500 closed above the 702 with no downward pressure in that process. I don't have to tell you what that means. I already said that I got that feeling, that intuition that the market is going to new all-time highs. That was now 2 weeks ago. We have the confirmation. Realize all of my intuitions this year have been exactly correct. So now my intuition is telling me that crypto is about to go ballistic and fulfill the prophecy. Now, if the stock market's about to go to new all-time highs, which seems extremely realistic at this point, then you have to consider that Bitcoin may also be going to new all-time highs. Now, let's just break that down one more time with an explanation that I've already brought up, but only in one episode. It's something worth revisiting because now other people are talking about it. So it's the idea of Bitcoin being in an expanded flat correction, right? I'll remind you, what is an expanded flat correction? It's essentially an ABC correction where the B leg of the ABC correction goes above the top of the A leg, which would technically be the top of the trend. So if we're thinking Elliott wave right here, on April high of 2021, that was the top of a wave 5. And then you go into an ABC correction where the B leg actually goes higher than the top of wave 5. That is an expanded flat correction. That is a bullish correction. Okay, so when we relook at Bitcoin, we see that it's just been in an ABC correction all the way since May of 2021 to the bottom in November of 2022. That was the bottom of your C heart wrencher, and the B leg of your seat heart wrencher just went above the all-time high. So this is all a bullish ABC correction within an uptrend, right? So when you think of it that way, it makes a lot of sense that Bitcoin should probably go to new all-time highs. Like if we're just looking at the technical analysis of Bitcoin, it should realistically at this point go to new all-time highs. So another corroboration would just be the fact that the stock market has really just fulfilled the uptrend prophecy, right? It just fulfilled the basic idea of backtesting the almighty trend line, starting an uptrend that everyone can see, and now that uptrend is accelerating. That's why the month of June was such a bullish month. We needed a month that was going to show follow through to this uptrend, like monstrous follow through. And that's exactly what we got. I was specifically looking for a strong close to this week because I knew that that was the last week within this monthly candle. And I'm thinking if this monthly candle closes above the 702, that's like literally taking out my bullhorn and screaming from the rooftops that we're about to make life-changing freaking money, specifically in the crypto market, because I now am somewhat convinced, obviously I'm hedging against everything, but I am somewhat convinced that the stock market is going to new freaking all-time highs. And the first clue I got was Nvidia at new all-time highs, then Apple's at new all-time highs, Microsoft at new all-time highs, McDonald's at new all-time highs. Like, things are at new all-time highs. So it's just like, are the indices going to follow? It sure seems like that, right? Because you could have made the argument that, like, with Apple, it's in an expanded flat, or Microsoft in an expanded flat, right? As in, like, it's just going to poke above the all-time high and then come crashing down. But now that you have reinforcement from the indices, and it looks like they are turning specifically bullish on the monthly chart. Like, look at the moving averages here, right? everything is angled to the upside. Everything that you can see on this chart is telling you that there is going to be continuation, right? We're sort of entering that season where markets turn up, right? Like I said before, it would make a whole lot of sense that markets are going to turn up leading into October, right? And then the major nightmare crash comes in October. So that gives you, you know, August and September. Well, obviously July is just ahead of us. July, August, and September for some things to happen very, very quickly before your next major seasonal pullback, which would be in October. And I'm not going to speculate how that's going to, you know, play into everything because I don't really know. All I know is that we're sort of in that moment where the market is free to run between now and October, right? And then when you think about the sentiment, it's like I haven't really heard any people being very bullish. Like I don't think widespread bullishness is a thing. So that tells me that the market isn't even frothy up here, right? And then that's really defined by what the RSI is doing. Is the RSI overbought? Not at all. It's not at all overbought. It's in bullish momentum territory, but it's not overbought. So the implication is like this thing can continue to move for a while here. And as we've seen, Bitcoin can move pretty significantly, you know, in 2 to 3 months. So it's just like our heads might be spinning pretty soon here, right? So that's all. That's really all I got to say. It's not even complicated. It's just it's happening. That's what's going on. It's happening. I mean, we can look around at the market here just to kind of see, you know, see what's going on, kind of find some corroboration. It's like, look at these weekly candles, right? Look at these, you know, like a lot of these cryptos didn't even find new lows, right? Didn't find new lows on SNX, didn't find new lows on Uniswap. And then you got to consider Litecoin. It's like, forget about, you know, new lows here. I mean, this thing just broke above this range, about to close a weekly candle, which actually is going to be a monthly candle above the 200 period moving average. And Litecoin is like signaling, like, doesn't look at that on the weekly chart. I mean, what does that look like to you? That kind of looks like this thing is about to go freaking ballistic, like very quickly. You certainly got to consider that that's indicative for the whole altcoin market. I mean, there is clearly capital pouring into this market. I don't really know where it's coming from, right? It's probably coming from literally like Gary Gensler himself, right? Because that's why he's been pushing the price down so long so he could load his bags. And here we are where the inevitable is about to come to pass, right? The inevitable is just that crypto is going to moon simply because of just the liquidity, the money printing. This is all about to have its reckoning, right? The currency debasement is about to hit. Obviously, there's a lot of downside to that, but crypto is the one place where you can protect yourself from that downside, right? Like you're literally just protecting your capital value. Obviously, you can't just hold that in US dollars at this point. And I think that's one of the main reasons why crypto is going to be outperforming and why it has been outperforming the stock market since 2008. It's literally because this is about a currency, right? It's about currency. It's not necessarily about like financial assets and instruments. It's about currency. We're in a currency debasement phase. So that's why the SEC is fighting so hard against cryptocurrency, right? They're way more afraid of currencies subverting the US dollar than they are of the stock market, right? They don't give a shit about the stock market. They're not paying attention to the stock market, but they are fully aware of the fact that if the stock market is about to rise to new all-time highs, crypto is going to outperform in a big way. And that's really what we're seeing here. So it's about to happen. The prophecy is about to be fulfilled. If you've been here waiting and patient, you know, it's like, dude, you are so legendary, right? Like seriously, right? If you just loaded up during all this time, you are in such a small minority at this point. And it's like, maybe that's why only like 15 people a week watch these videos. You know what I mean? Because it's like, is that how small our minority is? I don't know. But all I'm saying is like, it's about to happen. It's literally about to happen. And I've been right about everything I've said this year, kid. Everything I've said this year, I've been right. My biggest prediction was the back test of the almighty trend line being the #1 buying opportunity of 2023. It's literally that. It's literally that. I started the year saying that the markets are likely bottomed and they're going to start moving to the upside. That's what's happened. They've only been moving to the upside this entire year. So the next prediction is the crypto prophecy about to be fulfilled. It's really that simple. That's what I got for you. So,
good, cause I'm basking in the masterpiece like some kind of megalomaniac.